are what we do. That is why we have a timetable. When we come to the teaching documents, micro teaching, we talk about a timetable. A timetable is a very important tool because with the timetable, we are able to fit inside the timetable. Because what is a timetable? A timetable is a schedule, it's a table, trying to show us the activities which we are supposed to take day-to-day activities, especially in the learning institution. So time itself is a precious resource. It is non-renewable. Remember, we have renewable and non-renewable resources. And one of the non-renewable resources is time. Our activities must be controlled. The reason why we control activities is we are able to fit, we are able to do 1, 2, the way we plan. If we have planned 10 items and we are able to do 8 of them out of 10, that's 80%, that is commendable. We can say exceeding expectation because we have done well, we have tried to fit almost within that timetable. But as learners, we want to be 100%. We want to see that all what we have put on the timetable is carried out. That is the essence of our teacher. That the teacher cannot go to a classroom minus a timetable. The timetable is there for the consumption of the learner, the pupils, the people you are going to handle your subjects. The timetable is there also for you as a teacher, so that we do not come in class 2 of us at a time. We want to give time every teacher. You will see a CRA teacher coming, you will see SST teacher coming in, the agriculture and nutrition coming in. All these subjects put on the timetable, they have their specific time, and the reason why it is allocated like that, for example, where you are going to teach. If you are going to teach PP1 up to lower primary up to grade 3, you will have 30 minutes. But that 5 minutes is meant for grade 4 to grade 6. That is how your timetable look when you go down to the school. But here we are using 2 hours, 1 hour, because of where we are. Now, when we are making the timetable, also look at the age of the learners. If the learners are young, we cannot say you will be here for 1 hour, they cannot manage. So those learners are given 30 minutes for the lower primary, and the upper primary is that 5 minutes. But if you went to junior secondary, you will teach for 40 minutes and senior secondary. So that is how those grades, those learners are given the timetable. Time management is the art of controlling the usage of time. How do you control the usage of time? Time is there, but we say it is scarce, it's not enough. Time is available, right? But then it exists in limited quantities. If you don't prioritize your activities, you will get into problems. So the role of time management, why do you think we should manage the time? We want to manage the time so that we can be able to focus on priorities. Remember, there are so many things you are supposed to carry out today. Today, there are many things you are supposed to do. There is PE, there is games, there is lessons, there is lunch, there is a break, all of them. But what is the priority as you manage your time? A sense of direction. How are you being driven? What does your ego say? What does your consciousness say about wherever you are? That is why we have a rule called common sense. Common sense. So that common sense means that people are able to reason critically and solve their issues at that lower level. We look at consistency and systematic approach of tasks ahead of us by providing health and sound mind by avoiding stress. Another problem, if we don't manage time properly, we shall be stressed. I think you have seen that. Sometimes you are stressed. You have a lot of work that work can be carried out. So by the end of it, you become stressed because you are not able to manage your time properly. There are many congested things to be done at the same time. So your brain becomes fatigued. You become stressed. And when you are stressed, sometimes it becomes a problem. There are some diseases which are associated with stress. For example, pressure. Those are diseases coming because your mind is not free. But we want to work in a way that we are not stressed, because we know stress has got other uh, uh, other consequences, other negative effects. We have something called leisure in time management, which is defined as time when one is free from work or other duties, main duties. So when you are free, then we have what we call leisure time. For example, here, I don't know when you have the leisure time. Is it during the weekend or weekend is when you have leisure time, isn't it? Yeah, you are free. You are not going to class, you are free. So when you are free like that, there are activities which you can do to help yourself cope up with the leisure. One of them is what we call the passive leisure. That is where the physical activity is minimal. You cannot do many physical activities. For example, watching movies. I've seen some people here coming to watch the TV, the football and whatever, World Club. You see people here shouting. I hear you shouting from my place there. That's you are managing what we call passive leisure. There's minimal physical activity. You are not moving. You are seated there and watching your TV. Playing computer games, you can do that. You can play on your phone. Reading novels, that's one way of being involved in the passive leisure, managing passive leisure. You can look at the magazines. Magazines. If you had time with the library or whatever, you can look at the magazine. You can look at the newspapers. You can listen to the music. Music can be there. For example, during Saturday, I hear some people have some entertainment here and they listen to music. Or you can decide to rest. Resting is also another way to which you can uh, manage your passive leisure. So, but the only disadvantage is this passive leisure sometimes leads to idleness and laziness. When you are idle and when you are lazy, there are two words. When you are idle, it means you are not occupied. When you are lazy, there is an occupation, but you are not carrying it out. You are supposed to do one, two. You have been given a mathematics assignment or extended activity. Then you just refuse. You decide to not to do it. Then we say you are lazy because the task is there, but you are not carrying it out. Idleness means that hata hushughuliki. You are uh, you are aloof. You are not concerned about what you are supposed to do. So the advice is choose an activity that teach appropriate morals, good behavior, social and cultural values. You know, we have vices and virtues, and let us maximize the, the virtues or the good behavior, so that when we are involved in such a things, they also build our brain. This is what we call active leisure, where the whole body is involved. For example, netball. I've seen people in the afternoon. Maybe you are not occupied. You rush to the field to do some netball, to do hockey, to do some football, basketball, athletics. Although many people do not like athletics, Ama. Yeah. Only our people from Eldoret and Mount Elgon, those are the people who like athletics. Otherwise, others, when athletics is on, they feel they are not very comfortable. But athletics is good. We can also use it to manage our active leisure, board, roving, cycling. In some areas, people do the cycling. Naona kama watalii ndio wanapenda cycling. When I was a teacher in Mombasa, I could see wale watalii, they like cycling. They move with the bicycle. They could move from Sambweni up to Diani Beach. That's a long distance, a distance of about 32 kilometers. But they are able to ride. When they ride like that, they're also doing what we are calling active leisure. Swimming. I know swimming is one substrand in PE, isn't it? PHE. And questions are set on swimming, by the way. So swimming is one activity which you can also occupy yourself in terms of active leisure. Dancing. Some people dance. I've seen people dancing here during music and during the some music festival, maybe just during entertainment. People dance. That dancing is also how to can manage the active leisure, traveling, mountaineering, etc. There are many ways you can do where you can be involved in the active leisure. So active means the body is in action, but passive means the body is resting and you just watch. You are seated and you watch. And that's what many people like here. You sit somewhere and you watch your TV. On a TV, vile wanaongea and so on, or some video, or some cinema, or something like that. Importance of leisure. Why should leisure be there, or be? Why should you take part in leisure? It gives people time to rest. Leisure, especially the what we are calling the passive leisure, people can rest through that time. Provides people with the time for recreation. When you go to swim, that is recreation. When you go for sports, for games, you are doing some recreation. Allows one to attend social occasions, for example, like entertainment, like when you are in CU, you can sing, you can jump up. Those are social occasions. It allows people to travel and visit friends and relatives. Sometimes your leisure time, when you are a teacher and you have done your week, and the weekend you are free, you can move around and see your friend. That is also healthy because you don't just need to stay alone. You need to mix with other people. As you mix socialization, you learn more from the society. It's used to enhance and acquire new skills and knowledge. Also, this leisure can be a way of getting knowledge, skills, and attitude. That is learning, and that one can come from our TV, from our media. We can be able to get this more information when we use this leisure properly. Used for worshiping God. That's the time of see you. See you. Watu wanaendanga see you, ingawa wengine kwenda see you ni shida, but we are supposed to be there. Hapa hatujaweka ati mpaka ati sasa this one is for Pentecost, this one is for Catholic. No, we call it non-denominational religion that is found at Nabongo. Anybody can attend it. We don't have the boundary. We are not going into the deep doctrines of each church, but we are just looking at the Bible generally. So the CU is a very good way to which we can also experience occupy ourselves during our leisure time. We go to the CU. Jioni jioni tunaenda weekend, tunaweza kuwa na kesha ya weekend. On Sunday we can also join together and do what is required. The misuse of leisure time, sometimes people misuse leisure, like spending too much time on passive activities like films, pornographic materials. If we spend a lot of time on pornographic materials, violent activities, those ones will not be able to train us well. Even our learners, even the learners whom you are going to handle, if you train them in maybe fighting, then you are training some violence to the youth. So instead, you can train friendly activities, not violence. There can also be an idle talk. Remember, in the book of Thessalonians, Paul says that people should not be idle because the idle mind is the home of the devil. So Paul tells the Thessalonians that he wants them to work hard, and whoever does not work should not eat. That's what Paul advises. So the idle talk can come because of misuse of leisure. But if we put leisure to the right purpose, then there will not, we shall not have an idle talk. We shall not have the gossiping. Gambling. Gambling can be wasting of resources of money, like lotto. I know some people here do lotto when they are at home, not here. But when they are at home, naona mtu ameingia lotto na anapoteza even school fees. Some people, we have had such cases here. Eh, eh, disco matanga pia iko na imeleta pia shida. Those bring in the alcohol, drugs, premarital sex. Those are things which are against the ethics of the Bible. Those are things which are not good. Time management skills. You want to manage the time well. You plan for time. That is why we have a timetable. A timetable is a plan of activities to take place, the imagination of what will take place in the future. So you must plan. You cannot succeed in anything without planning. Kila kitu unafanya utafaulu tu kama umepanga mpangilio. That is why in the book of Habakkuk 2:2, the Bible says that we need to have a vision. That's Matuwen and daughter. And whoever does not have a vision is like a dead person. Everybody must have a vision. A vision is a dream. A vision is what you are working towards. You have a vision, then you set the goal. You work towards something. Like when you came here, you know you will come out successfully and become a very reliable teacher, helping this government of ours. So you had a vision. Vision is important. Habakkuk 2:2. Write your vision and share with others. Because with you alone, you cannot manage the vision. The vision should be shared so that we get success. Goal setting, we must set the goal. We can have the academic goals. I want to pass the exam. We can have the personal goals. What do you want to achieve in your personal life? We want to manage leisure properly. Those are things which we have to do so that we can be able to plan. Planning for time, the components, the working time, like Saturday, the manual work must be planned. The school work, your study timetable yako. Nafikiria kila mtu ana personal timetable and you are fitting in your personal timetable. Plan for time with others. It's time you need to socialize, be with others. Because when you socialize, you learn more from the society. Exercises, games, and so on. You can also plan for helping the needy. For example, the cultural week, the first day we shall move out. During this cultural week, when the one that's coming, tutaenda nje tusaidie. Tuokote uchafu kule, tusaidie the needy, tuwaombee, kama tuko na sukari tuwapelekee, so that we really care for the people around us. Because when an institution is here, the people around must benefit. We call it economies of scale. Like watu wenye wako karibu na Mumias Sugar Company. The sugar company should give some fund or raise some fund to build some schools there. That is the social gain. So if this institution is within this Muskoma area, then the people of Muskoma should benefit. So during the cultural week, we shall move out, we shall divide ourselves into groups, na tutatembea, tupelekee wenye hawajiwezi chakula and whatever that we shall come across. Like elsewhere, we were taking some clothes to the, tunasaidia watu, especially we would move to an orphanage. Na tunaenda huko tunasaidia watoto wenye hawajiwezi pale. Helping the needy, meals time, personal cleaning, resting. Those are areas which you have to do with the planning. Those are areas you can plan. You can set the goals. In setting the goals, we have the vision, the mission, and the motto. You come to the gate there, they have written the vision for Nabongo. Vision. Vision means the objective, the main objective. It means the main dream for the college. The mission means the method at which the vision is achieved. And the motto means the statement of faith. So we have vision, mission, and motto. Vision, mission, and motto. Vision, the objective. Mission, the way of achieving the objective. And the motto is the statement of faith. Like to go to a school, there's another school around Chwele called Nalimaya Secondary School. We wrote on the gate, pray and work. That is the mission of that school. So every school must have a mission, must have a vision, and must have the motto. The motto, pray and work. Hard work brings success. Discipline is success. Those are inspiring statements. And we call them statement of faith or motto. Sasa wakiingia hapo kwa shule, wakisema motto, no, that is the statement of faith. Kama wameandika vision, that is the objective of that institution. And the mission means the method of achieving the objectives. So the objectives must be achieved. There are some things that rob our time, even when we are here. There are some time robbers, things that eat into our time. One of them is in the interruptions, e.g., class meetings without appointment. If we have a class meeting which we never need an appointment, that can be an interruption. poor or lack of dedication, sharing the work. You know, we have to work in unison. We have to work as a team. When you are not there, you dedicate somebody else to help you. If you are a class secretary and you are not there, there must be your assistant. There must be somebody in charge who will work on your behalf. You cannot do it alone. You can't manage. Even at home. Papa kama hayuko, si mama huwa anamsaidia ama? Yeah. Ama mama pia anasema kwa sababu mzee hayuko hatuwezi kuenda kufanya kazi. Hapana. Somebody must stand in. So there must be dedication. To dedicate is to deliberately allocate the work to the junior. Hata shule utaenda kufunza. When you are not there, you have to talk to your colleagues. Wasimame na hawa watoto. Kwa sababu watoto ni wadogo. Ukiwaacha tu watapika kelele na mtakosana na principal wa hiyo shule. So you as a teacher, when you are not there, you dedicate. Dedication is a way of now occupying the people so that we don't have those interruptions. Talking too long. Sometimes we have seen even in churches, the pastor is preaching 5 hours. Preaching 5 hours. That is too much, isn't it? Too much of something is poisonous. So talking too much or too long frequently is in unnecessary chats, like on phone and so on, is also a time robber. Mtu anaenda hapo kuongea kwa simu na anaongea wana lesson inaendelea. That is a time robber. Hiyo simu. Simu wakati tunasoma can be on silent, ama? Yeah. Hata kwa kanisa. Hata kwa kanisa wanasema put the phone on silent or you uzime tu so that there's no robbing of the time. Time is used as required. Reading Changa literature. There are some literature, even if you read, it does not do any positivity in your life. Such a literature might not be good. Lack of priorities. If you lack priorities, you will fumble because you don't know to start with number one or number two. You want to do all things. Nashika hii unawacha, nashika hii unawacha. Then it means you are lacking you have not prioritized your work. What comes first? For example, if you are a student of Nabongo in the morning, do you bathe first or you go for breakfast before you go to bed? Which is which? You go for breakfast before you come to bed so that you bathe saa mbili ya mchana kama saa hizi. Unatoa nguo hapo na bed. Ama? But you start with what comes first. Then others follow depending on the way you have arranged your timetable. Gossiping. To gossip. Gossiping is spreading rumors. What is a rumor? A rumor is an substantiated story, a story which does not have a reliable source. Then we call it a rumor, and that gossiping can also let us be fast to hear, but not fast to talk, isn't it? Let us not react so fast, but let us be able to hear what is there so that we can synthesize, we meditate our bond before we give our reaction. Conflict resolution process must be duly. Conflicts are there. A society like this one where people are many, we cannot lack conflicts. Sometimes we conflict over issues. A conflict means there's a difference in opinion. Your opinion is different from this one, but we need to come out and get a solution by discussion, by giving room to each other's views. Then we should be able to get away forward for that particular conflict. Avoid daydreaming. Then proper management involves proper decision making. That is how we manage our time. That is how we should manage the time. And then we have this routine, which has caused a lot of problems. Some people, I don't know whether this routine is enough. We need to make sure that we get to use this routine because some people are getting into problems. When you ask them, they say, we don't know what is supposed to be done. Look at the day like Monday, by 6 to 6:30, that's breakfast. 6:30 to 7:20, personal preparation. 7:15 to 8, parade. 7:15, it was 7:20, but we have changed it to 7:15. We go for parade on Monday. Then 8 to 11, those are morning lessons. Kutoka saa mbili mpaka saa tano. Those are 3 hours. We have tea break, 11 to 11:30.
11:30 to 1:30, that's the lessons at noon. Then we have 1:30 to 2, we have the lunch break. That's where we have some complication because the time is too short. But if we were arranged well, if the counselors arranged well, we should not be having lunch problems. Time during lunch should just be enough if we arrange so well and people are served on time. And the people also coming for lunch, you come on time. Ikifika tu 1:30, come out. By 2, we are done. 2 to 4, we have lessons that's afternoon. 4 to 4:30, we have the games and sports. 5:30 to 6, we have the personal activities, washing, whatever. Huwa naona watu wanaenda huko kutunga kutafuta maji. Maji imekuwa shida kidogo kwa sababu ya kiangazi, but it's understood. But whatever is there, let us use it properly. 6 to 6:30 supper. 6:30 to 7 personal activities. Then 7 to 7:30 evening prayers. The evening prayers, all of us are welcome in the evening prayers. I've seen some people don't take the evening prayers seriously, but when we pray to God, God opens our ways and lightens our living, our life here. So we need to have those evening prayers. Then 7:30 to 9:30 preps. Then 9:30 to 10 the personal activities. But for today, we are having our cultural, isn't it? Cultural activities. So that time, we also want the dorm father and the dorm mother don't be opening the hostels early. Close those hostels until 10 so that people come to practice, so that we take our cultural day, our cultural activities first priority. By 10, we should be retiring to bed. But sometimes, like when we have the cultural week like this, we go sometimes up to 11. On Tuesday, the routine repeats itself. 6 to 6:30 breakfast, 6:30 to 7 personal preparation. Then we don't have morning preps on Tuesday, but we can still have the cleanliness. Then 8 to 11 lessons, 11 to 11:30 tea break, 11:30 to 1:30 lessons, 1:30 to 2 lunch, 2 to 4 lessons, 4 to 5:30 games and sports, then 5:30 to 6 personal activities, 6 to 6:30 supper, 6:30 to 7 personal activities, 7 to 1:30 evening prayers, 7:30 to 9:30 preps, 9:30 to 10 personal activities. But here we have the cultural activities that we are carrying out. I think groups, all the groups, we have 4 groups. We have Bungoma, we have Kakamega, we have Kotwarenge and the Rift Valley counties, we have Busia and the Nyanza counties. We hope things are going on well. Ama naendelea vizuri, lakini nasikia wengine wanasumbua. Some people are really, you are the people who chose those leaders. Tena mnawapatia shida. Jana nimetembea around. Some people are really giving headache to our leaders. Let's join them. Even if you are not participating, but you can be there to correct. Even spectators make the games to succeed. Mkienda kucheza, sio kila mtu anacheza kwa hiyo mpira, lakini kuna wengine wanaenda huko for the purpose of giving that moral support. Wednesday, 6 to 6:30 breakfast, 6:30 to 7 personal preparation, 7 to 8 guiding and counseling. This is the time. 7 to 8. We have 10 minutes to 8, so we are just about to conclude our guiding and counseling. Then 8 to 11, the program repeats itself up to the end of the day. Thursday, just like Wednesday, it's only the guidance not there. So here 6 to 6:30 breakfast, 6:30 to 7 personal preparation. Then do we start with personal preparation or start with breakfast? Which is which? Breakfast or personal preparation? Personal first, isn't it? So it's the other way around. We shall correct it there. Start with personal, then we come to breakfast. After breakfast, we come here, or we go where we are required to go. 7 to 8 morning preps is not there on Thursday. Hii morning preps ilikuwa sometimes, but sasa hapa tumetoa kwa sababu cleanliness takes a longer time, and also water problem. That is why that Tuesday and Thursday morning preps are not there. Then the program goes just like another day. Friday, the same, 7:15 to 8. That is parade. That is more important about the that Friday. Saturday, 6 to 7 personal preparation, 7 to 8 general activities, yanakuanga tu pamoja. Then 8 to 8:30 breakfast, 8:30 to 11 personal cleanliness. Hiyo ndio huwa chairman na chair lady wanatangaza hapo kwa parade, so that we are aware that what we are going to do, which classes are going to stand in which area. Then 11 to 11:30 tea break, 11:30 to 1 p.m. personal activities on Saturday, 1 to 1:30 lunch, from 2 to 5, that is free walk, relaxation, people move out, and by 5 they are supposed to be back. Lakini unaona wengine saa moja ndio wanaingia na wanasema tulienda mbali. Why do you go so far? Just get to town here, buy what you want, and then come back. By 5, we should be back, so that when we are back, we can be involved in some light activities. But by 7 to 10 p.m., we have overnight prayers. The prayers you who work on something to do, and while the entertainment, kama kuna kitu pia, the people can be able to watch a bit, so that we relax a bit. But on Sunday, the program on Sunday, 6 to 7, personal preparation, 7 to 8, general cleanliness, 8 to 8:30 breakfast, 8:30 to 11 Sunday service. Hapo ndio tena tunakuwa na changamoto. Nasikia watu hawaingii Sunday service. Hapa Sunday service is for everybody. Sunday service is for everybody. Hakuna mtu anasema mimi siingii Sunday service. Sunday service ni ya kila mtu. Hata ukiwa Muislamu ukiingia kanisani, hakuna shida. Hautakufa. That is just about God. Just join others because you are here, and let's work together. Then by after that Sunday service, we have 11 to 11:30 tea break, 11:30 to 1 personal activities, 1 to 1:30 lunch. Then there's some relaxation, 1:30 to 4 p.m. If you have some activities, you have assignments. If there's that, like the cultural week is there, that's the time we should be able to revise and rehearse what we are supposed to do. Then by 4 to p.m. to 6 p.m., there's some personal activities, some games if it is organized. Then we have 6 to 6:30 supper, 6:30 to 7 personal activities, then 7 to 7:30 evening prayers. And what was you hapo? You organize evening prayers for us. Then 7:30 to 9:30 personal studies, some preps will be there. Then 9:30 to 10. As for this week, we are dealing with cultural activities. So do not have personal activities. We shall just have those cultural activities as we wind up. Then by 10 or somewhere 11, we can go and sleep. So that is how the whole week goes. If you are not sure, if you are a new student, you ask, so that we don't get into problems. Because the challenges we are facing is some people are not aware of the routine, what they are supposed to do, and they are not even willing to ask. But if you ask, you will get the direction. Are we together? Karibu tumemalizia. We have just talked about time management and the school routine, the daily routine, how we are supposed to carry out. So, naona mwalimu Isaya amekuja, tampatia yako tu nafasi pengine asalamie, alafu as usual tamaliza na chairman na chairlady. Mwalimu Isaya, there is something, sir.
Okay. Our Guiding and Counseling Director, Mr. Nalimaya Ronald, teacher trainees, good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. It is not usual that I'm always here, but now I'm here. My communication goes to all of you that, as you know, we have a cultural week. which is just about 1 week. I urge you to practice. Just go for practice. Don't go to hide. I'm requesting the county chairpersons, not the patrons, the county chairpersons, each and every county to prepare the names of the participants because we are going to prepare for certificates. Are we together? We prepare the names for participants and we shall cross-check the participants in the field or in on the stage before we give the certificates, not just submitting your name and waiting for certificates. So be serious, take it seriously, prepare, practice, and we see competitive items on stage or games in the field. Otherwise, don't think you will just go and compete without practicing. We shall not have cases where people are given certificates without being seen somewhere. Finally, this goes to those who are in drama. In case you are given a script for a play, we have discussed with the trainer and we are recalling the scripts for that play. We are going to have another play. So please, I'm taking the scripts that we are given yesterday. If you are here, bring it to me or give to the chairperson, that is Brighton. If you are in R1, R2, give Moshi, Masri Nafula. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Okay. We cannot clap for Mwalimu. Yeah. So he's in charge of those activities, the cultural day. He's assisting Mr. Mhoye, PhD teacher. So let us cooperate with him and make sure that cultural week is a success. So as he says, we said the learning has 3 dimensions: the formal, the non-formal, and informal. The formal, as usual, the certificate is there. The non-formal, we also give merit certificate. And I've told you that the merit certificate will help you when you go for the interview. Your interview, that's why we give the room. At least belong somewhere. It will give you marks when you go for the interview. Taka hiyo kazi ya walimu interview, utaongeza hiyo certificate either ya drama, either the activity you did, any co-curricular you did. So it's important.